Absolutely. Last pick up now Among Us. Just one more ban.
Radiant must
We'll
choose.
get the Ricky banned out. Fair enough. Neon
There,
Esports.
there are a couple of good options here. I'd
Hmm.
say a jug is pretty darn good because if you're match community,
10
especially against the
seconds.
lion support, so you're gonna have to be really fast with say a hex to catch. Something
5
like a jug out.
seconds.
Your healing ward can sustain a beastmaster push as well. If you wanted to go that route, might be a bit dicey into the lifestealer. That matchup can go back and forth, and you are constrained by Omni. You're gonna need a pretty fast abyssal to handle that one.
What if you
Um,
just
hmm.
Naga Siren yourself here for Neon? I mean, I know you
Hmm.
and I don't like the hero in particular. I'd rather not. I would prefer the Jug here, but it does seem like they could just go for the Naga themselves into the Lifestealer Mag. Doesn't
No,
seem
but
too bad.
I think they know how to play it though because they just beat the Naga with the life sealer. Well,
Right.
so I don't think they're looking at the Naga. I think I
Okay.
think Scam just wants to play pretty quick here.
Okay.
Like hmm. Until life sealer, it's slightly tricky. I still think Jug is probably their best bet. Maybe no, Sven into life sealer is just asking for trouble. Although the armor helps, but it's still strength into life sealer. Not very nice. PA isn't too great, but again, there's that weird timing matchup with the Lifestealer PA with the MKBs coming in
Yep.
and the timings between that, which you can play with Neon if you just wanted to run fast. Plays well with a Grimstroke, so you can kind of go in with the Inkswell if they wanted that, but they're really taking their time. I think Neon might pull a sneaky last pick here if they have the option to.
Suppose while we have a second, big shout out to Monster and Loopet for making BTS Pro Series Season 3 possible, and for keeping us awake, quite frankly.
Mm.
Neon
Oh yeah.
Esports. They'll go for the last pick, Ursa, which is another nice pick into the Lifesteal and even the Magnus, right? You just,
Mm.
even the Rubik Lion, you don't really care for the disables as much because you do have that enrage, and you probably will go
10
for the status
seconds
resist
remain.
build, which will mean
Mm.
that all the stuns and all the hexes, they won't really last as
5
long anyway.
seconds remain.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good time. You will worry about the control early. You've got some really good control here from Among Us, but I think this is one way to down the line just dance around it. We see the SNY build into Satanic, after the Abyssal, just to really pump out the resist, and it is very difficult to play into for Among Us. Um, the one thing here for Among Us is they do have some great spells to steal, so we're gonna have to see just how far Jabs pushes the Rubik. Gonna be aiming for maybe the Soulbind, maybe the tiny spells. The Quap Blink is nice if you do need an early blink without the dagger, or the Roar from the Beastmaster, which is game changing. So that's gonna be it. And the usual Magnus timing, the Life Sealer timing, jungle control can be very important, which Neon can kind of fight well into because they've got the Beastmaster with Hawks, they've got the Vision game up, and Among Us
To
they
Ooh.
do
select
go with the
your
Ench.
hero,
So
make the ultimate
is that a
choice.
is that a core Ench coming out here for Cuckoo?
What if it was a... No, Core
Ooh,
Rubik. Core
ooh, that's
Rubik.
a yeah. I
I
mean,
love
I've
Core
been
Rubik.
asking for core Rubik. I've been asking for it since the talent changes. It's just I was expecting it mid, but it's the off lane Rubik coming out here for Among Us. So it's another great back and forth. Like the Enchantress is there, of course, to steal the Beastmaster Boris. And we've seen that multiple times, right? To ruin the laning of the Beast. This is how you respond. We'll see if Among Us can hit their timings this game. Gonna be an interesting one. It's a very different draft from Among Us. Neon, a bit more straightforward. They're off a high from getting a
10
nice win in game one.
seconds.
We'll see if they can maintain it in game
See
number
you
two.
later, nerds.
Certainly so. Speaking of, if you are a Neon fan after that game one, they are on Twitter, so maybe go ahead and give them a follow. Neon Esports Dota is the tag on Twitter. Among
Hmm.
Us unfortunately don't have one, but you should probably follow all the players separately. So they are very talented, obviously. Like I do wonder to myself when we finish every day where these players are going to be going. Like we know Arbed's part of a team, Savage is going to VG Gaming. What happens to Cuckoo, Jabs, and Whitemon? However, I wonder. Like which team's going to get
Yeah.
lucky enough to pick up these guys? Because they're obviously amazing players. Like
Hmm.
you'd be kind of stupid not to take them right now.
Yeah, and it's the question hanging in the air, right? Once Pro Series S3 is over, I think C is going to see a little bit of a shuffle once more.
Oh, for sure.
You eyes some rosters, Mike, some teams, especially in the groups right now, that aren't doing too well. I think a lot of teams will have some people moving around, so it's going to be an interesting time right after. And we were already in for an interesting time before. I mean, Geek Fam gone. That's mainly the cause of this. To be quite frank, it's Geek Fam releasing their roster, sort of making these shuffles happen across the team. So it's been an interesting fallout from that. It's really affected that tier 2, tier 1 scene. The lines have blurred a lot from all of these players moving around, and a lot of more teams get to shine, especially here in the group stages. We've seen a lot of upset victories. We've seen some players step up. It's been a really good time.
I think what's happening, John, especially during this pandemic with all these tournaments popping up online, is we're really starting to see the value of the tier 2 scene. And I think it's becoming increasingly obvious that the tier 2 scene has a hell of a lot of players that are kind of really talented, but that haven't been noticed yet. John, what are you laughing about? What are they saying? Give us a translation.
So Scam apologized to Cuckoo because he said play hard is pretty big-headed.
Okay.
He's just saying that. Sorry, Cuckoo.
Happy birthday.
And there
Well,
you go.
that's
The
nice.
birthdays are out. There you go.
Well, of course they'd be happy, John. They just, they beat Among Us. Like, it's a big deal to these guys. It should be.
Oh yeah, definitely is. At least they give him a tip.
Yeah,
At least
Well,
Cuckoo
they
has
look
something.
up to these guys, Neon Esports, these players. Of course, they look up to the players in Among Us. It's, beating your senior, I guess you want to call it. It's like the more experienced person. It's gotta feel good.
Oh yeah, it's a huge morale boost. I'd call them more like brothers because I think
Brothers,
a lot
right.
of them started around the same time, right? Like Scam's been in for such a long time. We've seen him bounce roster to roster. So it's always fun.
As
see
you
them just kind of
Filipinos would
play
say, beating your lotties, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Beating
There
your
you go,
lotties.
Mike. Yeah.
See, I'm
Beating-
learning, John.
yeah.
I'm getting there.
Yeah,
I'll
you're
be
learning
talking
slowly.
Filipino in no time.
You'll be speaking it better than me, Mike. Still, these lanes, they're breaking out, and we've got a swap out. Scam is on that off lane with John Uel. They're going for an offensive off lane, and top 4 heroes mid, but not going to stay there for long. So they're dragging Whitemon up top along with Cuckoo. So they're swapping along to match the Ursa, and this should be an interesting one. The Ursa up against Rubik. It's been a while since we've seen that poor Rubik, but you can see the aggression. Tri-lane top.
Yeah, they're going to get a kill here. Whitemon has been left alone on that Enchantress. Cuckoo does make his way in. Whitemon trying to get back to his tier 1 tower. He is still alive. The Fairy Fire and Fade Bolt proving to be enough to give Whitemon time. He doesn't exactly have any salves available, but he does have some tangos, and he will be able to stay in the lane.
Yeah, and this is well, not quite the result you want from the tri lane, but they're eventually going to find some space here. I have to note the Rubik versus Ursa matchup. It's actually pretty hard for Ursa. Look at that base damage. It's 42 to 46. If Cuckoo gets the Fade Bolt off, ooh, you'd struggle to find those last hits here.
That's a very good point, John. We'll see how far Cuckoo can push this, and more importantly, what kind of build Cuckoo goes for in this core Rubik. Still bot lane. There's a bit of a chase right now onto JG. There's your lion out from Jabs, getting an Earth Spike up. Whitemon there as well on the Enchantress now, just rotating down bot. And they are also running a tri-lane up against the Beastmaster of Neon Esports. So they just want to even out these lanes and make sure that, if our safe lane's going to have a tough time, so is yours.
Yeah, you're just looking to apply that pressure. Of course, they might be able to get a kill down the line. I'd say the spike here is probably level 3 for the line. That's where you really get in more value from the Earth Spikes. Or you go with a utility build, 1-1-1, and you can start hammering it in. And you can see JG, he's cut off from that creature. He's not finding farm. This is a good start for Savage. He doesn't have to deal with a boar spam. And that's exactly what you want. Still, you look down mid. It is the Yapaj lane up against Abed. So it's a Quap versus the Mag. You can see Yapaj pulling slightly ahead. Again, it's favoring the Quap with a range, with the damage you can pump out, but Abed still has some good last hits. You can still go for the creep waves. And kind of go for the farm, but it's going to be a lot more passive for Abed than he'd like, as Yapaj should be able to flex his muscles here.
He should, and he has been. Abed trying his best to stay out of range of Yopaj, but Yopaj is really giving it to Abed now, and he might need to be careful. There's a Shadow Strike out. Yopaj does have a blink, but Abed will Fairy Fire and walk away. Play hard. Did come in to try and see if he can get a toss off, but he will not be able to, and for some reason there's a Lion Courier here. Jabs. Gonna make his way in, and he'll just start shuffling.
Yeah, it's an awkward moment for Abed, though, and Lion Courier as well on the toss. But
Jabs does manage to get it. The toss was not going to help too much. Yapaj just unable to help the Courier. We'll be alright with it anyway. Play hard, he'll make his way up top. And the side of Among Us, they are going to keep Jabs here for a little bit to try and help out Abed as they do try for the kill now. A nice skewer back on Yapaj, but he will be able to blink away. Play hard was running back in just in case they needed his help.
You've got the supports clumped up here now. The 4-minute runes are going to be up. You know these two sides are not going to let that go for free to either one.
Well, Yapaj needs it desperately, though. Abed doesn't really require it. He wants to deny it, but Yapaj, oh, he's been hexed up. He's in trouble, and he will go down. First blood will be out to Abed, but now they will switch their attention over to Jabs, get somewhat of a trade, but that is a huge first blood for Among Us.
They're happy with that. Abed gets a bit of a bounce back from that lane. It's been a bit of a struggle, but when you get a kill like that, first blood of all things as well, you're in for a fairly good time. You look down bot, it's still pretty messy for Neon. They've been dragging their supports away, so you've got Play Hard standing behind, but Savage is already 5 at 4.5 minutes in. It's another runaway start for Savage. So be careful with how much space you give this guy, because he knows how to use it, and they're already doing a lot of damage on that tier 1.
They are. This is great play out from Among Us. JG going to come back in, but Savage going to get to work now onto the Beastmaster. Whitemon going to come in as well. They'll turn their attention over to Play Hard, who does get the avalanche out, but is almost certainly just going to die. And Savage is still looking through that tree line, trying to spot out JG, and they know where he is. They saw the tree go down. JG, he's going to be trapped in the tree line, still trying to just cut his way through, but it is not going to work out for him. Savage is able to take a double, and here come the tips.
Oh boy. Among Us, though, this is an excellent start. So the tier 1 bot falls. You don't have a trade coming out for Neon. You look at Cuckoo in the offlane. He's actually level 4. He's got 15 last hits. That is 3 times better than JG's start. So our offlane Rubik, it's not, I mean, it's not amazing, right? But it's still better than the Beastmaster. And at this point, I think that's what you're looking for Among Us. So JG, he's got to go to the jungle start. It's not going to be a good time when you've lost that tier 1.
Absolutely not. They might start focusing on that tier 1 mid tower now, Among Us. They do have a very, very nice lead at 2k net worth. They also have the RP up now on Abed. He doesn't have much to follow up with that RP in terms of his own damage, but it won't matter if he has his team around him. Yapaj is behind in levels as well, just about to hit that 6 mark. Does have an Arcane Rune bottled up, so is ready to fight now with the Sonic Wave. But it looks like Among Us are just going to split up for now. They'll continue to take over that Radiant jungle and just cut off the farm supply for Neon. And Savage, of course, will just continue to escalate in terms of farm. He is going for that armlet and will have it up very, very soon.
And that's going to enable him to play faster if he wants. I do love what Neon's doing here, though. So they plant some wards in the opposite jungle. Dire jungle is being tracked. That's going to make it a bit harder to get some stacks up for Abed. And that's one thing to watch out for. I think when we've seen Abed on the Magnus, he has been a bit more passive with it. He tends to wait for the Ecto Saber blink, as most players do. So I think Among Us, that pacing might just be a bit slower now after that tier 1. Now it's just down to map management. Whitemon staying in that Radiant jungle, clearing out every single camp, so you don't have the options there. Neon, for their part, they have this massive stack in their triangle. So that's something Among Us has not kept track of. It's going to be a nice boon for Neon, as they should be able to secure that boundary.
Top lane still not really going down here. Among Us doing a good job of defending there with Cuckoo. Of course, the side of Neon are going to have to wait for that next siege creep to be coming out before they do commit to this tier 1 tower. They're still giving a nice bit of time here for Skem to work towards that Battle Fury, and he's getting close enough to at least pick up the Perseverance if he does want. Meanwhile, Abed into the jungle, doesn't really have stacks to take. So he is just going to be relying on stacking himself and try to catch up that way. It is going to be a little bit of a slower game though for Abed. Definitely slower than we've been used to seeing for the past week or so.
It's just the nature of the Magnus, right? Like, you tend to not play too much until you get Echo Blink, and that just means you sit back, you farm, you clear some camps, you take it slow. They do maintain that lead though, and this is enabled by that AP1.
Plus back, Cuckoo did steal the Avalanche, but Jabs actually getting a nice stun off, and now the Avalanche coming back in, but Yopaj is going to jump in after the Rubik now, and Cuckoo might drop and does, but Yopaj in danger. Abed has the RP, is going for a double RP and does manage to get it. Very nice patience there from Abed to get the maximum value from his RP. That is very well worth it for the side of Among Us. And there's another tip coming out from Cuckoo.
I mean, Abed, we said he'd be playing slower. We don't tend to see RP opportunities like that, but if it's handed to you, you take them. And that also opens up a bit of a shove down mid. So this mid tier 1, Neon doesn't want to give it up. They've already lost a lot of their jungle. If you lose this as well, you're going to have a hard time finding some recovery.
Savage, Avalanche toss, but play hard, didn't really have the damage. Savage will just play with the armlet and barely avoids the stroke of fate. He will be just fine to get out of there. 3k net worth lead now for Among Us. Looks like they are intending on maintaining that for quite a bit.
Yeah, they're just gonna dip in and out as these ults are ready. The surprising thing is that Jab still doesn't have 6 on the line. That's a key timing for the hero. It's gonna have to buy that book at the 10-minute mark. So you can expect Among Us to have another spike when that's up. They're gonna look for an easy pick off. You do finally have a tower trade from Neon though. Skem does solo the top tier 1. So they buy out some space for themselves. They can easily farm that top jungle if they wanted to now.
Play hard, he'll find Whitemon. Avalanche is there, but Abed is around to help out. And Whitemon's not even going to be in danger. In fact, he's going to turn back around onto Play Hard just by himself and see if he can get this kill going. Play Hard does lose most of his HP, but now JG going to show up with the Roar if he does want to commit. And it looks like Whitemon did go a little bit too far and is going to pay for it. Ipaj will give him the whip.
It's a nice, easy pick off. I think at some point Whitemon just decided to focus on the boards. Get some last hits because he knew he was going to be punished. So trying to get value there, but you're not going to be upset about that if you're Neon. It's a free kill. Still, you see Among Us grouping up. Mid-tier 1 is the next objective they want. They're going to try to push it through. They've got the finger on Jabs, but he's not around to use it.
No, he's not. Looks like they will defend the tier 1 mid for now, but it does take quite a bit of damage. The siege creep, of course, can't be left alive too long. Again, all this time is giving more time to Skem, right? And that's the one thing. He almost has that Battle Fury up. Once you have that going, your farm really starts to escalate, and it might be a little bit hard for Savage to keep up in terms of farm with his own itemization where he has gone for the armlet into the Heaven's Halberd. Now, naturally, that Halberd's going to be very effective up against the Ursa, but you've got to wonder whether Skem can become a real powerhouse later on.
He can. I think the key thing is that Neon will have to stall longer beyond a Battle Fury. So we're talking about Abyssal, we're talking about an MKB, and perhaps a Satanic as well, just to get more stat padding, more resist padding there.
Could be in
And
trouble.
once you reach that point,
Skem.
could be big, although.
He knows Jabs is right behind him. He's going to go for a run now in the tree line. Can he juke them out? Abed going to break the trees, and Skem, he is trapped up, and that's going to be a nice big kill. Jabs will give him the finger, and does get +1 charge on the finger damage.
Yep, it's always a good time. They do manage to also clear out that mid-tier 1 while they were going for that kill. So a lot of value with Among Us for that movement. Are carving control here on the map. Neon, not going to be too happy. You talked about it, but they are putting a lot of pressure onto Skem to really be that big farming core. He does have the Battle Fury up, so he can start to play in the safe part of the jungle, just farm efficiently into the S and Y here for the Ursa. And once you've got that, that's a bit more stat resist. But Among Us, they're also progressing nicely in their farm. They are maintaining the 4K lead. Savage's Heaven's Halberd is going to be up soon. Abed, he's got the Echo Saber, so it's just the Blink left. And once you have that Blink in the Magnus, you're going to be hunting down bigger team fights. You will want to apply even more pressure with the Blink RP up.
Abed's just going to focus on farming it up for now. Jabs looks like he's just going for the Aether Lens on the line, so he just wants the range. I love the fact that Jabs hasn't skilled up Mana Drain on the line this game. Just,
Yeah.
you know, every pub player always goes for Mana Drain. You know, it just feels so good to drain mana off your enemy, but Jabs, he knows the value of the Hex and the Earth Spike. It's what really makes the line broken is play hard. Down at the top lane, Arbit, just killing off the solo Tiny by himself.
I mean, he used the RP, but, you know, you weren't going to use it until the Blink anyway. So Abed just takes the freebie and just kind of builds up. So he's just about 700 off that Blink. But you see Neon, they are smoked up here.
They are.
There is little hope.
To Whitemon. Page with the Invis Rune just going to follow. Sonic Wave going to be committed, but Savage is willing to fight back. But there's your roar out now from JG. Savage still low, but is going to be able to run away to the Infest target of Cuckoo. And now they turn around. Cuckoo, he stole the roar. They want to keep fighting, but it was a great avalanche in from Playhard, stopping the chase. But now Yopage is in big trouble. He can't blink away. He does go down. Still Scam going after 23. Savage does get the life stealer. So it's a 2-for-2 trade, but Skem doesn't want to die like this. However, he does. Cuckoo now with the stolen Earth Shock getting the kill, and they do make it a 2-for-3 trade. That will be favoring Among Us as they continue. On to the Grimstroke now, and Wyman will just laugh. It's a slow process, but they will get him.
That's a big win for Among Us. You're not happy about losing Savage, but Cuckoo Rubik with a big steal. It's like that roar, setting up the counter fight. Skem overextending and getting punished. I mean, he's strong with that Battle Fury, but it's not like he's insanely strong yet. So you have to temper that aggression back just a notch. And Abed, well, he's flying out that Blink. He's gonna have the RP up in 20. Among Us could look for something to happen here, as they want to reveal that Blink RP soon.
There's a smoke up from Neon. This could be really poor timing from them. They don't have the Orc up yet on Yopage, and Abed, like you said, has the Blink and RP up. They're going to run in as 4, and they'll spot Savage. They don't know where Abed is at the moment, however. This could be a big RP. Savage, he's dropping low, but Abed's coming in for the 4-man RP, and the damage is going to come in now with the Shockwave, with the finger. Oh, it's a disaster. Neon. They didn't see Abed. Oh, and he cleans him up. He sends him to the bin, John.
Yeah, Among Us. That is just everything you'd want in a reveal. Like that is the Blink reveal every Magnus player dreams about. Savage counting his lucky stars on the edge. But Abed just in the nick of time making that dramatic entrance, and all of a sudden, Among Us 10k lead, Mike. That Blink RP reveal, you know, that's gonna put a damper here for Neon. That means they really need to build that farm up in Scam, hold off on the aggression with the Ursa, keep clearing some camps out, build some stacks up in the safe areas of the map, and rush into that Sanj, into the Sanj and Yasha. Just get the stat resist up, and then maybe you can hold off on the control and bounce back in with that Ursa.
It's looking bad though, John. A 10k net worth lead is hard to come back from, and Yopage, he still just doesn't have that Orchid up. It's might be on the courier now, and it is indeed. It's just such a slower process than Among Us. Man, they're really not playing games this game number 2, I'll tell you.
No. It's they flick their switch on, serious mode. They're smoked up as well, and try to find more.
Scam.
Oh,
Gonna run
Scam.
straight into the biggest target. Scam doesn't want to die like this, but he gets hexed up by Jabs. Can't even enrage. Does go down, and they want more. Onto Yopage. Savage, he'll just taste down Play Hard instead. They know the Tiny's in the tree somewhere. They even get Yopage's courier now. There's Play Hard. He does get picked off, and he will die. 12k net worth lead now for Among Us.
Dire's courier has been
Oh man, yeah. Cuckoo. Every single spell he steals is the exact one he'd want. Just making a lot of work happen with Rubik, which is finding everything across the
Oh,
map.
they found another. Daniel gonna go down godlike now for Abed. He is 9-0-7. Play Hard, he's just laughing, and yeah, what did you expect from Abed? That is the right question to ask.
Yeah, it's looking a bit difficult now, but you know, 12k, this is something that Neon could probably still play into. I think you really have to watch Skem's positioning here. He does have the Yasha. It's going to go into the SNY. They get a nice courier. So that's the Yasha of SavageCon. You can install off the timing into the Manta, so you're buying yourself a little bit more time there. But Among Us, they've been fighting without the RP. It's back up for Abed, so they might just look for a play. Perhaps just wait for the BKB first from him, and it's not going to take too long when you've gotten power.
A lot of farming to be done for Neon. They cannot fight back with this net worth disadvantage, and it does mean they have to sit back and just try and hit creeps. They have a 2% chance of winning this game, apparently, which is, you know, 19 minutes in, that's not going to feel very good for the side of Neon. But I'm sure they are well aware of how behind they are. Just a matter of finding the space to get that farm up. You need these BKBs on your Page. Skem, I don't even know what he's going to go for next, but he needs something. So the Battle Fury Yasha is just not enough. And speaking of BKBs, Abed has one up now on the mag. So suddenly he just doesn't care for your magic damage. They've smoked up. Among Us, they want to go.
Oh.
John Yuel gonna break the smoke there. Savage, he'll just get the drums going from Cuckoo and just rush him. Grimstroke cannot do anything to avoid this. He has no choice but to just die. That is what will happen. At least the rest of the team does survive.
You'll cop the gank for your team here. You're pretty happy about that. You do manage to hit another timing for Neon. So there's a blink up and play hard. And this is that was the item that gave the turnaround there, although
Page gonna catch out Cuckoo, but Jabs is around the corner and Page gonna just back off. He did see Jabs take the invis rune. They had a ward watching that, and he must know Jabs is still chasing him down. JG is around the corner to help on the Beastmaster, just in case anyway, so he'll be right. Get out of range. That will mean Cuckoo does survive on the Rubik.
It's a pretty nice win for Among Us. Not even being able to pick that off and Skem.
He'll be alright. Abed goes for the RP, gets two of them, and now brings them back. Delivers them with the finger out. Play Hard try to get in for the Avalanche. He'll be the third one to go down. Page is trying onto Cuckoo. He'll get one, but Savage is now just going onto that Queen of Pain. Page, he was about to blink out, but Jabs, he had the range with the Earth Spike. It's a 4-for-1 trade. Tips are coming out. Page will give one back to Cuckoo. It's complete domination now from Among Us.
Yeah,
Has been for the last 10 minutes.
It's the Abed delivery service. You know, he goes in, drags them up, and everyone says thank you. Give a nice tip to Abed for that, as Tier 2 gone. 16k lead now, Mike. You were talking about the progress here for Skem. I mean, he's still saving up for the SNY. I thought it was done because he DQ'd it, but it's not done. He needs to finish that first. And they just need to play safe here. Neon, you do not want to force any fights, especially big 5v5. You can maybe find pickoffs, but you cannot take bigger engagements. If you do, you have to play with Play Hard's Blink, but that Roche, it's not going to last too long here from Among Us.
Roshan is going. They need to fight ASAP, but they've been scanned out. Roshan still very, very low, but Abed's going to pop out now. Skem, he'll start the fight, and they are into the pit, but the Aegis does go to Savage. Whitemon does die, and Page is very, very low. He needs to blink out. Savage going to go onto the Ursa now. Tossed in by Cuckoo. Back onto that Ursa. Skem trying to kite him out. Just can't. Page back in with the Sonic Wave. No, he doesn't even have it yet. They'll go back onto the Ursa, but Abed delivering the service once again. Straight to Savage. There's your products, and that'll be Savage getting a double kill now as Page trying to run, but he cannot. He will have a blink, but Jabs again with the Hex, just in the nick of time. And Abed, the delivery man, he strikes again, John.
Oh boy, it's
An
getting hard
express
for
service
Neon.
today.
That it is. Just on point delivery. It's pizza time, says Habit, and he just hands it in on the dot. Neon, tough spot now. They've still got the Aegis up. Skem, he's been forced to join his team so many times. He just needs to sit back and farm. But now, with no outer towers, there's no safe space. So Neon, you've got to find a way to carve out some vision on the back. Try to toss Skem very far away. Maybe the dire jungle, if he can sneak into it, is somewhere he can play. He does have the SNY up. That's not going to be enough. Not at the 19k deficit. He needs more to start pouring in. He is queuing up the Satanic and the BKB. So once one of those is up, perhaps you have an opportunity there.
Into the high ground, it seems. Among Us, 19k net worth lead. It's a very, very tough kind of high ground to defend right now if you are Neon. They've got to give it a crack. Among Us waiting for that right timing. You've always got to be worried about that RP attempt from Arbit. He's waiting for that right moment. He doesn't want just one. I'm sure he wants multiple. They are remaining split up. That melee barracks, however, is going down. They're going for the soul bind, but now the hex out from Jabs onto the Tiny. Playhard was trying to get the toss back with the soul bind, but now the skewer back is going to be there on Skem. He's in the middle of nowhere. He's got help coming in, however. There's your avalanche. There's your sonic wave out from your Page, hitting everybody but Skem. He is already down. Now the bash is around. That'll be your Page going down as well. And the chase is on. Arbed, still with the RP available, does commit it now onto two heroes. Are you kidding me, he says, as they take him out, and the GG is called. And that'll be a 1-to-1, tips all around. What a great series between these two.
Oh man, Neon, they brought the fight out in game 1. Among Us, they turn around in game 2, dominant fashion. They clean up. Drawn series, still a very strong showing from Neon. But Among Us, they do manage to salvage that out. They don't drop a series, still maintain that. But Neon, I'm sure that, they play their hearts out in game 1. Game number 2, not quite lining up. Skem just not getting the space to farm up, unfortunately, and is punished. Among Us, well, that's the form we're used to seeing from them. Abed just delivering the pizzas, Mike.
Absolutely. And all props to both teams, by the way. I mean, Neon obviously very proud of themselves for taking that game 1 up against Among Us. And Among Us, again, 14 game win streak without dropping one on basically no notice. Just forming a team and making it work. Very impressive from both teams. And I think everyone should be happy today. Still, Execration is going to be up against TNC for our next series, John. And right now, Execration doesn't really have much to be happy about. They're in the lower side of the group stage, sitting at 8th place. Basically, they are going to be knocked out if they don't start getting some wins, and they only have 2 series left. So we'll see if they can take this series off TNC to try to get some points on the board. Because if they can win, they will overtake 0-3-2, and that will give them an 8th place spot for sure, whereas right now they are just tied in the 8th place spot. So we'll see what happens. It's MLP Dota and johnxfire. We'll see you all again in about 10 minutes for some more great SEA Dota. We'll see you then.